Hello and welcome. And today we're going to be talking about 5 tips for businesses and how you can thrive. Now, these aren't groundbreaking, and you've probably heard them before. But here's the thing. Until you're actually doing them on a consistent basis, getting a reminder about these particular issues that I see these as I help new businesses get started. I'm not a Mark Cuban or a Mr. Wonderful, but I'm on the ground. I'm in the dirt with you. I'm in the foxhole with you guys, with my entrepreneurs, with my friends. Okay, you are my people. So I bring these things to you to give you hope, to give you ways to overcome, to bring you success. Because inevitably, or that's the point of everything I do, is to help people and businesses thrive. If you're new here, my name is Taylor Darcy from Think Legal, where I help businesses and people thrive. So welcome. We go live Monday through Friday, except for holidays and occasionally I need a day off to do stuff, okay? But I go live Monday through Friday at 11 right now. So please feel free to join me. If you're unable to join me, make sure to leave comments below and ask questions. That's what these videos are here for. That's why I continue to do them, because people have questions and people need help. And I love being able to help. So let's get started, shall we? All right, so first and foremost, and I see this happen with a lot of new entrepreneurs. So if you're just getting started, this tip is especially important for you. And that is, stop comparing yourself and your business to others. Even if you're in the same industry, if you're in the same field or something, your path, your journey is different from somebody else's. Your business is different from somebody else's. Your skills are different than somebody else's that has the exact same business model, right? Like, if everybody was the same, this would be exceptionally boring. So do not compare yourself to others. Don't look at them and say, oh, I wish I had that, or, oh, I was involved in this particular way and that they were successful and I'm not. It's number one, it's terribly unfair and it's very misleading about that, because you don't know what they started with. Did they have loans from their families and friends? Did they spend so many years in the field that they were able to build up this capital that you don't have? And I don't mean money-wise. I mean like experience. Maybe they've been involved in the field for 10 years and you've only been involved in the field for 3 years. I don't know. And that's the point. Neither do you. So don't compare yourself, your journey, your success with others. Okay? You run your race. You do your thing. Okay, you take your attributes, your skills, and you work on those to be successful. Because here's another part of that. The more you compare yourself to others, the less likely you are going to succeed. Because that comparison creates doubt, creates fear, creates so many issues that you don't need, okay, when you're first getting started. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't compare your business to other people's businesses. Even if they get started at the same time as you, you are you and they are them. Don't compare. Okay, that's number one. Next thing is time, not money, is your greatest asset, period. Because one of those you can't get more of, and that's time. Money happens. You can get more money. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying that money is something that can increase. You never can get time back. So when you're focused on things, find a way to save as much time as possible. Not money, time. Because that's the only asset that has substantially more value than money. I'm not suggesting waste money. Don't misunderstand this. I'm not saying to blow money like you're going out, like you're trying to impress people. That I'm not suggesting. I'm saying that your time is more valuable than money, so plan accordingly. Next part of the time value money thing is don't trade time for money. Find a way to create a product or part of a service that doesn't involve the time it takes to do something. For instance, and I'm just using this as a for instance, if we're talking like if you're if you're a service-based business, well, rather than charging hourly, right, charging a flat rate is better because you're not trading time for money, because it encourages efficiency, okay? And that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you're as efficient as humanly possible. When you're trading time for money, you're incentivized to be inefficient, because the more time you spend on something, the more money you make, right? So that creates inefficiencies. But you will be more successful and happier, I might add, if you're not chained to your chair because of a clock. If you're looking for success, like selling a product, for instance, if you're selling a book, right? You trade a bit of time writing the book in exchange for selling the book. Once you've written the book, you're no longer trading time for money, and you can sell multiple copies of that same book, right? Because there's lots of people. In fact, I think we just surpassed 8 billion people in this world that we live in, right? So there are 8 billion people that you could sell to, potentially, depending on your market, niche, all that good stuff. But the point is that has substantially more value. You can't work enough hours to make that profit, to compare to the profitability of writing that book. Spend 10 hours, 30 hours, an hour a day for 30 hours, spend that for a year, maybe, whatever. However long it takes you to write the book. And then you've got that forever, right? You can continue to always sell that book. You're not trading time for money, and that's a win, right? So time is your greatest asset. Find a way to save as much time as possible, and do not trade time for money. Okay, that's number 2. Okay, that's all encompassing in number 2. The next thing is embracing change. And I tell this to my guys, people as often as I frequently as I can, and that's that one of your biggest assets as being a startup and a small business is your ability to pivot, okay? Is your ability to change when things aren't working. You don't have to go through the same bureaucracy that a larger company goes through. You get to make a change as quickly as possible. So if something's not working, stop trying to make it work and find something else. We've talked about being firm in your goals, but flexible in your approach. That's what this is talking about. Embrace that change. The faster you can embrace change, the better. You're going to be more successful. You may not have the resources that a larger company has, but your best friend is the ability to pivot quickly. Now, that being said, just because something isn't working doesn't mean that it can't work. So maybe you stop doing something for a little while until you have the resources to do it. Because somebody's made it work. That's the point. People make things work all the time. But the overall goal is, if you don't think that it can work and you've sunk enough time and money into it to potentially make it work, try to make sure that you've given it a good enough opportunity. Because if you're not giving it a good enough opportunity, then put it on the back burner and figure out what went wrong with it, and then fix it later, right? Because, like I said, just because it's not working now doesn't mean that it can't work eventually. Okay, so that's number 3, embracing change. Number 5, don't try to be like everybody else. We have enough duplicates of things. We have enough people that are trying to be like everybody else. And I get the pull because you see that they're successful, and so you think if you do the exact same thing, you might be successful too. The problem is that if you're doing the same thing as someone else, it's like putting a square peg in a round hole. It's not that people aren't looking for a repeat, right? The sequel is never as good as the original. I shouldn't say never, but almost never. Almost never. The sequel is almost never as good as the original, right? Or like even Weird Al Yankovic, right? He does parodies of things. He doesn't try to re-sing the same songs. He does parodies for a reason. So when you're looking at what you're trying to do with your business and yourself, don't be like everybody else. Let people be naturally attracted to what you do because you're different than everybody else. Every single business that has substantial amounts of success, they're not trying to be like everyone else. They're being themselves. Your business and you should reflect your personality and your quirks and your uniqueness. Livestreamingpros.com, shout out to them. Luria Petrucci, she says, you're uniquely you. What makes you special? That's what attracts people to you and your business. If you don't know what that is, ask your family and friends. Ask people that care about that you know care about you. Ask them what makes you special, what makes you unique, and then incorporate that into your business. Don't try to be like the Elon Musks and the Coca-Colas and the Nikes and all of those. There's nothing wrong with those companies, but they're not going to get you where you want to be because they're their business, you be yours. Okay? Next part of that is if you want extraordinary results, you can't give ordinary effort. It's right there in the word, extraordinary. I'm not suggesting that you go crazy. Okay, that's another thing. We'll address this in number 5. So don't think I'm expecting you to work nonstop 24/7, right? Which is a myth. That's a myth anyway. But I digress. If you're looking to become the best that you can become, right? If you're giving meh effort, then you're going to get meh results. Which is why this is why I'm tying this back to the don't trade time for money thing. Because there's only 24 hours in a day. You're going to burn out fast if you think that you can do more than someone else, right? Because somebody can always work more than you. But if you create systems and procedures to fill in the gaps of your weaknesses, right? Nobody's perfect. Everybody has weakness. Then you're going to create extraordinary results, okay? But you can't give ordinary effort. You have to do more. You have to give extra effort in order to get extraordinary results. And I'm not here to tell you what that is. I'm simply telling you that you can't get a Lamborghini, right, out of a Honda Civic amount of effort. It's just not possible. It's just not. You're going to have a Honda Civic business if that's what you want, which in some instances, that's all you do want. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. I'm telling you that you can't do this and expect that. Okay? All right. So, number 5, and I saved this for the very last because I think this is probably there's a weird culture problem in most entrepreneurs, startup circles that I don't like. The idea that if you're not working, you're somehow failing. Or that if you're not working 18-hour days, that's somehow unacceptable. Here's the thing. Everybody needs rest. Everybody needs to be taken care of. And if you're not taking care of yourself and doing things to perform to your best, then how can you get those extraordinary results? So as an entrepreneur, you need to extremely take care of 2 people or two entities, yourself, okay, and your employees if you have them. You need mental health breaks. You need physical health breaks. Because just like if you're a car and you break down because you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be successful. Take care of yourself. Take care of your employees. Treat them with the same kindness and respect that you want to be treated with. Many people start jobs, start businesses because they don't enjoy the bureaucracy and the crap that happens at many large companies. And that's great. But part of that is, excuse me, part of that is you have to treat your employees and the people you work with like they matter. Not like they matter, that they do matter. And you can't do that if you're not treating yourself the same way. So contrary to like popular crazy belief where you're working nonstop and you never stop working and you're annoyed all the time and you have this deadline and that deadline, and you just can't, you can't progress your business forward because of everything that you have to do, because there's a lot of busy work involved. Take time for yourself, to who you are, to enjoy the things that brought you to where you are. If you have a family, take care of your family. If you have a pet, take care of your pet. Take care of yourself. And this is, I get it. It's hard. I am not telling you, I'm telling you what you should do. And I'm telling you it's hard to do because I wear a lot of hats. Not only do I do these, but I also take care of my clients and I take care of my family. And so I don't take as good a care of myself as I need to. And that's something I'm working on. And it's a daily struggle because there's always, literally always something I could be doing for my business and to be successful. And it's a real struggle. And I will admit that firsthand. And it's something that I need to work on to do better. So I'm telling you this from not only personal experience, but what I see with other entrepreneurs and business owners that I work with, and that I have a pulse, right? Like I have my finger on the pulse of entrepreneurship and startups and businesses and whatnot. And so I want you to be more successful. I want you to take that time for yourself. Take time away from your business every day, okay? Whether that's going to the park, going to the beach, going to the mountains, whatever it is, okay, to be more successful. You will be so much more successful when you take breaks and you don't do that. Now, the caveat here is don't procrastinate it either. I get that part of it, right? Don't find ways to not do the thing that you're going to do. But I want you to think of entrepreneurship as not just a way to be successful, but a way to have the life that you've dreamed of, right? So when you're thinking about these things, don't forget that there's a journey involved here. Don't forget that you have to get there. And if you're miserable the entire time that you're trying to get there, then is it worth it? You know, are you going to wake up retired with lots of money and miserable because you gave up your family and your pets and everything to be quote unquote successful? Right? Like whether it's retired or whether it's you work really intense for 5 years and then you have a lot of time, right? That 5 years is going to be hard. And for some people, that's okay. That's okay. Like some people like to do that. And I'm not here to tell you can't do that. I'm simply saying that for long-term success and well-being, take time out of your day to take care of yourself and your employees. All right. Those are the things. Those are the 5 tips to help you thrive. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. If you have any comments, like I said, leave them below. That's what I'm here for, to answer questions, to help. If you've gotten value out of this video, don't forget to hit subscribe and like, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.